John Rich is a country singer, and he's recently written a song about a book in the Holy Bible named Revelation.
I did not decide to write this song, and out of nowhere, a hammer hit me in the back of the head. Boom, like that. What is this? What is going on? What's this feeling?
And he goes over his testimony on the Tucker Carlson podcast.
What is Revelation?
Revelation was written by the Apostle John at the end of his life, and he started receiving visions and prophecies, and he wrote down what he saw. And a lot of what he saw, you got to remember, he only had his life experiences to try to describe what it was that he was seeing in these prophecies.
He was on an island, as I recall.
Yeah, Isle of Patmos. Yeah, and so he was writing this out as it was coming. Can you imagine what he must have felt like?
No.
What is that? What is that? Like he's seeing all these things that are going to happen thousands of years in the future.
So
It's been
the book of
spoken about
Revelation
throughout.
tells the story of the end of history. That's my read.
Tells the story about the return of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
It says it's telling you what is going to happen prior to him coming back and what's going to happen after he comes back. Lays it out.
So how did you decide to write a song about a book of the Bible that most Christian preachers don't want to talk about?
I did not decide to write this song.
Huh.
Because first of all, how do you sing what's in Revelation? I mean, think about it, you know. Last November, I'm at my house in Nashville. I was not thinking about writing a song about anything. And out of nowhere, it felt like a hammer hit me in the back of the head. Boom, like that. Like, what is this? What is going on? What's this feeling? And this melody and these lyrics. Oh, Revelation, I can feel it coming like a dark train running. Oh, get ready because the king is coming. The king is coming back again. I'm talking like that.
And I'm just getting chills hearing this because in the previous video I covered, there's this thing where 200 people having a synchronized dream of Jesus Christ.
About 200 Gazans gave their heart to Jesus in one lump sum because the Lord appeared to them in visions and dreams.
It's almost like God's trying to say something. And in John Rich's testimony, he got hit with a song. Why?
I grabbed a guitar off the wall, a pencil, a notebook, went and sat in a quiet room in the house, and in about 60 minutes, the entire song had come out. I sang it into my little voice notes on my iPhone, put my earbuds in, and walked around the house, just pacing around the house, listening to it over and over, and the hair is raising up on my arm.
Is this how, pardon my ignorance, but is this how songwriters write songs? Has this happened to you before?
No.
Is this?
No, nothing's ever. The only other song I ever wrote that felt like this was one called Earth to God that I wrote a few years ago. That was the same experience with that. But this one was more intense than that. You know, when he hits you, you know it. It is, you cannot mistake when the Lord slaps you upside the head with something. You have a physical reaction to it. I do. I have a physical reaction to it. It does not happen very often. It's a very rare occurrence.
I showed this to one of my friends. He told me a story where his car got stuck on the beach and he was stuck in this lake or something. And he had this moment where like he had this voice or something in his head that was telling him, just wait, everything's going to be okay. Someone's going to help you. Just relax and enjoy the sunset. And he's had that similar feeling where like the hair on his arm just stands up. And eventually over time, someone just stopped on by and helped him with his car, pulled him out of the dirt. He was in a bad spot. And yeah, everything was all right. I've had a couple moments in my life where I felt like the hair stand up and I had this like intuition of something that I thought was going to happen or something too. And it's just very interesting.
Except this message is beyond, and it's incredible that it hit me when it did in this period of time.
So you felt like you were channeling this?
I felt like he slammed it right through me. And as I'm walking around listening to it, and the hair's raising up on my arms, I remember looking out the window, and I looked up and I went, what do you want me to do with this? I mean, what do you want me to do? And the message I felt coming back to me was, take it all the way to the mat. That's the phrase that hit me, meaning make the audio as great as you can with your skill set, make the video as compelling as you possibly can. And when you get those things done, tell as many people as you can. Slam it out there with no fear, as hard as you possibly can, and let this thing be heard. That is your job. Go do it.
So you're describing a creative process in which you're kind of like not driving the train at all.
At all. No, because I didn't come up with the song. I did not lay out some marketing strategy for the song. I was given instructions as to what to do with it. And listen, it's an unnerving thing to write a song like that, to sing it, and then put it out there in front of God and everybody, especially in the way the world thinks and operates today.
Will you just describe, like, how do you roll something like this out if you don't have publicists, record label, if you don't have the machine? How do you do that?
I do have a publicist. So Jules has been with me a long time. So when it's time to roll, she'll call people and go, hey, John's got this song Revelation. Would you interview him about it? So we do that. We go out and talk to people and, come talk to you. But beyond that, nothing. You just post it. I posted it on my X account at John Rich. And I went up there and I said, this is the most important song I've ever written. I hope it brings courage to the saved, conviction to the lost, and absolute fear to the truly wicked. That was the post. And within about 48 hours, it's now battling some of the biggest artists in the world. That's all I said.
Now, if we take into account Revelation, and if we take into account that maybe God did reach out to John Rich and told him to write this song, we have to ask, why now? Is there something happening in the world right now? Look at the signs, look at the wonders. What is so special about this period in time that God would be like, we need to spread the word now? So I kind of just raised the question of, what exactly is so different about the time period that we live in today and in comparison to time periods in the past?
It's got the boss's hand on it. He gave it to me. He told me to write it, so I did. And he told me to go put it out there, so I did. It's on him now.
What do you think the message? So you basically have said that you didn't write the song. The song came through you.
That's correct. And that may sound like some kind of weird thing for people to hear, but that is exactly what happened. I'm not capable of writing lyrics like that. And first of all, they're not really lyrics. They come right off the pages of the book, man. I mean, I just made it rhyme. I just made what John talked about in Revelation. I just crafted them so where they would rhyme and become a song. But the entrance of the song says, dancing in the flames, the people cursed his name, talking about Jesus, and bowed at the altar of the father of lies. But there's a number to their days and all their evil ways. The Lord's going to turn away from all their cries, meaning at the end. And what that's talking about is when you watch the Super Bowl halftime show, or you watch the Grammy Awards, or you watch some of these big concerts and music videos where they are putting satanic symbolism right in your face. They are practicing witchcraft on the stage right in front of you. You're watching a football game or an award show and with your kids, and now whammo, straight evil coming straight at you. We've all seen this now. Somebody has to counter that.
Wait, can I just ask you to pause?
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually haven't seen any of that because I don't have
Right.
TV, but I've read that this happens.
Yeah.
Why? Why are they pushing Satan worship on television?
Because they're doing the work of their father, just like I am.
Wow. And there's kind of no denying. I mean, they're not getting richer by pushing satanic symbols.
Sure they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the industry, the way those movie industries, music industries, all of that. Now, not everybody in those industries obviously is, some kind of a Satan worshiper or something, but there's a lot of that in there. And they have spent decades programming us from a young age to think those things are fine and normal, and they get rewarded for that. People that really serve the father of lies, they get rewarded by him when they proclaim his word. And so Revelation is the other side of that. That's why I went to such extremes with this video, because I wanted it to compete visually. I didn't want it to be like some one-dimensional looking thing. I wanted it to be up to the level to what people are used to seeing. If we're going to combat, if we're going to present both sides, play at a high level.
kind of interesting because I heard there was an artist who was looking up like witchcraft spells.
Back to Taylor dropping demonic symbols. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it at the Super Bowl with, well, I shouldn't say that she did it. I'm sorry if we
Her
take
friend.
Her friend did it. Forgive me.
Yeah.
However, we are seeing her doing witchcraft on the stage, and people have a way of justifying it, making excuses for it. That's just choreography.
If this sort of stuff exists in Hollywood and there's like these sort of like weird sort of ritualistic performances, why are you doing that, right? It's not something we should be messing with.
When did it become clear to you that this was a theology, that these people were working knowingly or not on behalf of evil, actual evil? Like, when did that dawn on you?
Well, they got so arrogant with it. It seems like in maybe the last less than 10 years, I don't know what happened on their side, but I guess they got the green light to go all the way in. And that's when you started seeing, for instance, Grammy Award performances where people are literally coming out wearing satanic symbols. They are carrying out, I guess they were mock seances, but I mean, it looked pretty real to me. And all of this stuff started happening. Even some of your biggest artists in the world during their live concerts in full of giant stadiums, full of people, are doing these things out on the stage. In between their hit songs, they'll come out as just part of the production of the show. It's art. It's just art. I mean, go look at, there's a rapper named Lil Nas out there. And trust me, everybody watching, you won't know, but everybody watching this, most people will know what I'm talking about. When you see him giving a lap dance to the devil in his video. Straight up. And they are not ashamed about it. You look at Eminem's new record where the titles are Lucifer, Antichrist, Evil. This is out right now. So I don't know what happened on their side to go pedal to the metal with it, but they absolutely did. So on the other side of that, what are we supposed to do in response to that? Just yell at it, scream at it, be disgusted by it? You can do all those things.
Well,
but
the first thing
take
you're
action.
doing is naming it. You're naming it. Which I think is so interesting. You're calling it what it is. You're not falling for the lie, which is this is just art.
Right.
It's more than that. I mean, maybe it's art.
Right.
We can debate that, but it's certainly more than that. This is a theology. You're pushing a religion on me.
Yeah.
And it's a religion of darkness and lies.
Right. And they're pushing the same on our kids. They're pushing it in schools. They're pushing it in pop culture. They're pushing it everywhere you turn around. You can't get away from it. I mean, we're inundated with it right now. We are swimming in what these people have put out there.
And not only that, there are some people that cross the border that started doing these sort of like sacrificial rituals. Who knows what that's summoning? In a world where Jesus Christ exists, who knows what these sort of like weird occultic rituals are doing?
It was this video here that made me remember what this thing looked like. This thing looks like those black things that I have been talking about quite often on this channel.
It's just really important to know what you're dealing with and to say it out loud. And
Yes.
I think if you had said that to me 5 years ago, I would have thought, well, really like John Rich, a little far out. But now,
Nothing I'm saying right now. Anybody that's had a TV set on in the past year knows what I'm talking about.
it's just beyond. Thank you for saying that. So tell us about Revelation. You said Revelation is the story of Jesus coming back.
Right.
What's in it exactly? Because I think even a lot of Christians haven't read it carefully, don't understand it, don't want to confront it. What is it?
So in this song and in this video, what it is talking about is what the real war is.
The Lord's gonna turn away from all their cries. Oh, revelation, I can feel it coming like a dark train running. Oh, get ready, 'cause the King is coming. The King is coming back again.
The real war is not Trump and Biden. The real war is not left and right. The real war is not culture war. It says in Ephesians, we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with principalities and powers and the rulers of spiritual darkness of this earth, of this world. That is the battle. That's the real battle. And they say, in the Bible, it says you can't see that because there's a thin veil between the physical and the spiritual and what's going on just on the other side of the veil. But when you read Daniel and you read Revelation, it says at some point that veil will be torn which my song talks about that. And when that veil is torn, you'll be able to see what's going on the other side of that.
You know how like some people talk about like ghosts, or some people talk about near-death experiences where they die and they come back to life. They see Jesus in person. They see these demons. They see these angels. It talks about maybe one day you will see the darkness and the light and the principalities. It's very Harry Potter-esque. And for the world where Jesus Christ is the God of the universe, it's interesting to think that now's the time that God chose for John Rich to slam out this song. So does that mean the veil is going to be torn soon?
So in the video, you see the devil come blasting through a fiery portal out in the woods of Tennessee on one side of a little country church on a black horse, and he starts running, and he looks nasty. It's Nick Searcy, by the way, the actor, my good friend. He plays the devil. He's one of the nicest guys you ever met. So it's funny that he's the devil, but he plays a good one. And on the other side of that church out in the woods in Tennessee, this massive beam of energy comes crashing down to the ground, and the trees go like this. And out of that blast comes Michael the Archangel, and he pulls a broadsword out of his sheath. And he grits his teeth. And this guy's got muscles. That's Hollywood Yates, my buddy from California. He comes walking straight towards the devil, and they're coming like this, and I'm standing in the middle. I'm humanity, and here's evil, and here's righteousness, and they are about to clash. And the point of that is to put into people's mind a representation of what is spiritual warfare. I wonder what it actually looks like. And I did the best job I could trying to depict that. But when you see those scenes, I think that's one reason why this song is doing what it's doing, because to my knowledge, nobody's ever even approached this subject in the world of music or video.
Amazing. So why is Revelation so hard for people to grasp, to read, to understand?
So for thousands of years, the prophecies in Revelation and Daniel and other places seemed like such science fiction to people. They just couldn't understand how these things are even possible, including my own dad, who's been preaching since he was about 19. He's in his early 70s now. And he said, yeah, John, just never could understand how some of these things were possible. For instance, the mark of the beast. How is it possible, we would all say, that you could track every human being in the world and know where they are and how they get their money and where they spend their money? I mean, that's just impossible. And here we sit going, oh no, they're tracking us right now.
Yep.
They know exactly where we spend our money and where we get our money. Because it says you won't be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark of the beast. You could replace the word beast with system.
Some people think it's a system. Some people thought it was, credit card chip. Phone. Oh, this, that. We won't really know until the time does come. But for some reason, it does seem like there are things in place that are very oddly similar in current modern day that are similar to that of the mark of the beast, or the setting up of this system that John Rich is talking about.
You won't be able to buy or sell
unless you bear the mark of the beast. And when you go back and look that up in the Hebrew, it's talking about the global power that's in place at that point, the system that is in place.
What is the beast?
The beast is going to be whatever entity, a group of nations it speaks of, that will set into motion. We always talk about globalists and the globalist agenda and all these things. It will be a globalized stranglehold on the human population, that they will know where you spend your money, where you get your money. Reminds me of central bank digital currency, if something like that happens.
So I'm embarrassed. This is being recorded. I probably shouldn't admit this. I've read Revelation, actually.
Sure.
I tried to understand it last year. I didn't realize it said, how did I miss that? It says you can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast.
Without the mark. Yes, that's
John, the Apostle John, on some Greek island 2,000 years ago said that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And so,
Damn.
so prior to technology showing up where it's at now in 2024, these things were impossible. Couldn't you? I mean, how's that going to happen?
That's a pretty specific call, though.
Very specific. Yeah. So now all the things that need to exist physically are all here now, so that the prophecies that have been laid out could now physically manifest. Now, I don't know if that's going to be today or 100 years from now or 1,000 years from now. I don't know the answer to that, but I do know this is a new era. So when you read Revelation and you read Daniel and you read these other prophecies, it's now doesn't sound like science fiction anymore because we see it every single day.
That is absolutely crazy.
Is that a light bulb going off or what?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I also don't quite know how I read the whole thing and didn't catch that.
So in light of all this, I want to show you guys the music video of John Rich singing Revelation on a book written by John in the Holy Bible, as it may be very important to get the word out. Who knows if this is going to be in 10 years, 100 years, 1 year, even 1,000 years. But I feel it is important to show you guys the music video that he created covering this book in the Holy Bible.
Dancing in the flames, the people cursed his name, bowed at the altar of the father of lies. But there's a number to their days and all their evil ways. The Lord's gonna turn away from all their cries. Oh, revelation, I can feel it coming like a dark train running. Oh, get ready, 'cause the King is coming. The King is coming back again. Brimstone upon their heads, millstones around their necks. They'll feel the shaking when the trumpet sounds. And no matter where they hide, there'll be nowhere to run when Jesus puts his mighty foot on the ground. Oh, revelation, I can feel it coming like a dark train running. Oh, get ready, 'cause the King is coming. The King is coming back again. When judgment comes like a lightning flash, their voice will wail and their teeth will gnash. And he'll set fire to the evil ones and all the wickedness they've done. There'll be no time to turn around as the stars begin to hit the ground and the mountains fall and the veil is torn with the sound of that seventh horn. Oh, revelation, I can feel it coming like a dark train running. Oh, get ready, 'cause the King is coming. The King is coming. Oh, revelation, I can feel it coming like a dark train running. Oh, get ready, 'cause the King is coming. The King is coming back again. The King is coming back again. So wrote the prophet John before his days were done. The King is coming and it won't be long.